Well guys, welcome back to another video on the Jeep Wagoneer. So we have the 3-liter Hurricane engine over here, and in today's video I'm going to be replacing spark plugs on this vehicle. And overall it should be pretty straightforward, but since there's no video on how to do this on the 3-liter Hurricane, we're going to make one and it should be fun. So let's get cranking. Alright, so first we're going to remove the bolt that's at the back that secures the engine cover. It's a 13 mil. You get it out and you pull this sucker off. Next, if you have an oil catch can installed, those lines will need to come off. If you don't, I believe your stock lines are plenty room for you to get this done. Okay, one disconnected and the second one is disconnected. Next, charge eye cooler hose clamps. Next is the hardware that secures the solenoid to the intake pipe over there. It's a T30. We're gonna remove that. It also has a plastic retainer on the end, so this can just move to the side. And this tube also goes to the turbo over here. There are springs like this that needs to be disconnected down there for this whole tube to come out. So that's what I'm gonna remove. You want to use a pick tool to get that out. And to disconnect these connectors, just pull on the white tab and then you can pull the connector off the sensor. Okay, that's off. Okay, tube is off. It's also a very good idea to go ahead and plug all these outlets so you don't create issues for yourself. So I want to quickly point out the trick to getting this charge clamps off the turbo housing. As you can see, they're being held in place by these clamps. So this is a better close-up view. You need to get in here with a pick or a flathead screwdriver, preferably a pick. You need to pull it out and make sure it secures over there, and same thing over here. So you're going to be getting in from this side of it, and it secures that way, and that's the only way you can get these pipes off of there. It's impossible to get it out because all of this locks in the ridge over there. You have to get it done this way, but if you get it on, you just need to keep rotating it, loosen it up, and it's going to come out eventually. Now the lower one for the second charge pipe is a bit difficult to get to, but it's definitely possible. So I'm going to get in there, pretty much do the same thing I just pointed out over here with releasing these clamps, and then I can pull this assembly out. Right, there's almost no way to show this to you guys, but it's buried really in here, and with this pick tool I can get to it hopefully pretty good. Okay, I just got it. I'm gonna bring you guys in and show you. All right, so as you can see, it's right over there. So that's the hose I just disconnected for that intake over there, all the way down in there. And with a pick tool like this, you can get it done. So now if I go over to the top over here, that's ready to come out now. All right, so I don't have to remove this pipe completely. It's just to get enough clearance to be able to remove the ignition coil over here and over there. So now we have access to everything. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling these ignition coils one by one and replacing the spark plugs. And very simple, just push on the white tab up, push down, and connector comes off. And then the wiring loom is secured. You just get that off, and we have access to pull this out now. All right, first ignition coil is out. Another good tip is before you pull the spark plug, it's a good idea to just go in there with some forced air to get any loose debris out so it doesn't fall into the engine. And I also have a spark plug socket that's gonna go in now. Okay, first one is out. All right, so now that I have the ignition coil out, the first one, I'm going to show you what the spark plug looks like. This is the OEM spark plug. The vehicle has 65,000 kilometers. I'm going to have on the screen what that is in miles, and this is the replacement one. The spark plug gap, it's supposed to be 0.70 millimeters. I'm gonna have all of that on the screen too. And the new one, I'm gonna check the gap just to make sure it's within spec before I throw it in. I have checked this one and it's slightly wider, which is expected because it's not a brand new spark plug, but it doesn't look to be in the best condition, as you can obviously tell. New one is gonna go in now. As per the specification, there should be no anti-seize or lubricant. It needs to go in dry exactly the way it came out. That's what I'm gonna do too. So when installing the spark plugs, you always wanna start out by hand so you don't cross-thread it, and then you can finish off how you want to. So I'm gonna insert this by hand and then finish up with the ratchets. All right, and I have my torque wrench here. The torque spec for this is 20 Newton meter. All right, that's good. And ignition coil is gonna go back in. Connector goes back in place. Locking tab. And I will secure the wire and loom later because we probably need all the slack we can get to get all of this done. Second one is out. All right, and the new one goes back in place. Spark plug gaps already checked, so we're good with that. Okay, ignition coil goes back in. And we're on to the third one now. Okay, connected, disconnected. Wire loom is off, and ignition coil is next. There we are. All right, and same like before. Third spark plug is out and the replacement goes in. Again, all of the spark plugs, I'm checking it, gapping it correctly before it goes in, because you don't want to do this twice. So it's important that you guys do the same. And now we're gonna torque that spark plug to spec and move on to the next one. Ignition coil is gonna go back. Okay, and now we're on to the fourth one right now. Fourth ignition coil is out. And that spark plug is also out. The new one is going in. Okay, that is torqued down to spec. And ignition coil goes back in. And now we're on to the fifth one. You gotta reach real deep in there to get to this one now, but it's not horrible. Okay, fifth one is out. And there we are. So just like I mentioned, all of the spark plugs are getting checked before I put it in. Spec for the spark plug gap is 0.07 mm and it just clears. But when I'm certain that everything is good, the spark plug goes in, again by hand like I mentioned. And when it's threaded, I can use the ratchets to finish it off. And the torque wrench goes in. Okay, there we are. And now we're on to the final one. And that's gonna be the most difficult because it's very deep. Okay, that's out for the ignition coil. And the sixth one is out. And there we go, the final one. And well guys, now that the last spark plug is installed, it's time to button things up. So ignition coil is gonna go back in. Well, since you guys have seen me pretty much do everything, I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm gonna set this to a time lapse and reinstall everything I've taken apart to get this work done. Well guys, just like that, everything is pretty much reinstalled just the way we started. Everything is looking good. While I'm here, I'm just gonna quickly drain my oil catch can. I know some people don't believe or don't think that this is useful in any vehicle, especially forced induction vehicles. But knowing what I know, I always throw it in all my vehicles. And it's never failed me. Look at that. There is a good amount in there. I'm gonna bring you guys closer in so you can see. Yeah, look at all of that that's collected. That's a lot, significant. And this has been since my last oil change, which was about 3,000 kilometers ago. And these are original spark plugs that we pulled all the vehicle. As you can tell, all in pretty bad condition. It looks like the vehicle is running lean from what I can tell over here. Lots of white spots on the electrode. But overall, I'm glad that I'm getting this done. And it was a very straightforward service procedure. So I'm hoping that this video is going to help you guys, for those people that like to wrench and get some work done by themselves. These videos are for you guys, so you guys can hopefully get this done by yourself at home, like I did. I did this in my yard. No fancy tools, just basic knowledge, hand tools, and you can get it done too. So if you enjoy videos like this, you found it helpful, drop a like, subscribe. It's going to encourage me to keep making videos like this for you guys. I have lots of videos planned for the Hurricane engine, the 3-liter Wagoneer, whatever you want to call it. I have lots of videos planned. If you have a video in mind you want to see me make or something you want to see me do, drop a comment and I will for sure consider it. On that note, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.